Hello, I am Matthew Mackler. Welcome to Aerial Grand Prix. We are in beautiful North San Diego today for an FPV event. Let's go check out some flying. We are with
Andreas Schwartz from FPVTools.com.
And today we're going to be talking about quadcopters with him and multi-rotors. And he actually makes his own custom frames and designs them and builds them. And tell us more about these frames.
All right, so this is the FPV Tools 250 size, brand new design, very simple, nothing too fancy, no round curvers. It's just straight in a 30-degree angle, arms, standard DJI arms. And so basically what I'm going to start offering is this panel, or like this frame. And what you can do is you can customize your own logo, you can customize the top buttons, the top drill holes for your FPV equipment, whatever you need. So no one fits all. There's this really custom designs, and it's going to be an attractive price, which I don't know yet, but we will get there. And yeah, so and additionally to these great frames that are made out of G10 FR4, so the same that the DJI and any other big quadcopter brand is made out of, I'm going to start offering custom panels. So for your ground station, so where you can design your own ground station panels, put your button switches on, your nice logos, and then you have a professional looking ground station. We're going to offer different materials like this ABS with the Satan color and the black in the background, and also Oplex, which is actually translucent. If you actually look through the sun, it's actually, so you can put some lights in the back so it shines through. So that's what we're all coming pretty soon to FPVTools.com. And that's where you can buy those frames then.
Very nice, very neat, interesting. So what are your thoughts on quadcopter regulations and drone flying, and how do you feel about the FAA wanting to regulate?
Sure, very complex topic.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm part of the VPA, the Video Pilot Association of America. We started about 2-3 years ago, that association. It's been on the underground. There's been a bunch of people involved in that. There's some reach out here to this local San Diego FAA office, and we're working with them together to get more meaningful input. As you may know, like the dollars talks here. It's not really like that we can make a big impact. They're just lacking behind the speed of technology we develop. I mean, if you look this back 3 years ago, 4 years ago, nobody would have envisioned that you buy a CNC machine and cut your custom frames and build drones in your garage, you know? The FAA just needs to get their stuff together and get faster regulations up, because we need regulations. There's no doubt we're going to get some kind of regulations, and there's going to be some enforcement of those regulations, and I would say I support that, just of that reason that we have route flyers on our stuff, and there's going to be situations where we should not fly, like in the middle of a big city in New York, you know. We all saw those videos. That's no good, right? So. But it needs to be common sense and meaningful regulations. Cannot be like, yeah, you guys cannot do, now that's over, it's all illegal. That's not okay.
Yeah. All right, one last question. Where would you like to see the future of FPV racing go?
FPV racing, good topic. So I really like the concept. About 2 years ago, I started a software, a new OSD development that will display basically a virtual racetrack on the screen so people can follow it. I think it's a very interesting sport, you know, like it's something that the pilot racer started, and we can definitely translate it to multi-rotors and even planes. I mean, there's no restrictions, and I would like to see more involvement in that part, and I think the vendors need to come up with like meaningful frames that can support that too. Maybe that's something on my next project, a multi-racer frame.
Definitely. Hello, we are back in North San Diego. I am Matthew Mackler, and we are with
Jeff Yang. How are you?
Pretty good, thank you. And we are here to talk about quadcopters. Now, let's talk about how you got into this.
Basically, I started when I was about 15 years old. Always wanted to build up a balsa wood airplane. Crashed it and stayed away from the hobby for quite a while until I happened to go into a hobby shop. You know, I'm 42 now, so went into a hobby shop and picked up a quadcopter, and I flew it around my office, and I was hooked from there.
So yeah, let's see what you're flying today.
Okay, I've got 3 crafts today. First off, I have an FPV mini quad. This is a 250 millimeter quad, and it rips. It can do flips and rolls. You can shut the motors off in mid-flight if you want, and I can control this all off of my FPV system. This is a DJI F550 that I've extended to a 640, so that means I basically put some motor extensions here, and it makes the aircraft have a little bit better wingspan, and it makes it definitely more stable than if it was in this 550 configuration. And also, you can run up to about 12 or even 13-inch props with this configuration. So I have it set up basically for filming. A DJI F450, and I have 11-inch props on this. It's extremely stable. And I have a 3-axis GoPro gimbal on it, which makes the video incredibly smooth and stable, which is what it's all about. When you get into cinematography, smooth is everything.
All right, so one last question, Jeff. What is your vision for the future of FPV?
Freedom. We need freedom to do FPV when we want, in a safe manner.
Tell us about, you have a YouTube channel.
I do. I have a YouTube channel. It's called 7 Demo 7. It's all about reviews, flying, cinematography, and just loving the sport of quadcopters. I guess you can call it a sport. It's more of a hobby, but the sport takes us to places like this down in North San Diego, where it's beautiful to fly. You get to meet
can't complain
people.
on
Yeah,
days
it's wow. Look at that.
Just some of the fun little gadgets down here in North San Diego. You want to tell me about this? This is a
6x6 crawler that Johnny Meg over there from Teamlegit picked up when they had the big Nitro Planes warehouse moving sale.
There we go.
And he decided it'd be a good idea to make a cargo hauler for all of our planes and everything, because that's just how Teamlegit rolls.
There we go. Hello, I am Matthew Mackler, and we are here in beautiful North San Diego at the North San Diego FPV meet, and we are here with
Pete Morrow.
And let's talk about multi-rotors. So you build them, you test them, you enjoy them, and you fly them.
Yeah,
walk us through that whole process.
This particular rig is set up for long range, so it should have about a 20-25 minute flight time. Today I came out mainly to make sure my gains are set up right and it's stable, and then I'm just doing some tests going up and down the beach to see how far I can go, like start out with a mile and then 2 miles, and kind of build up from there. I got into the hobby about 3 years ago. I've always been interested in film and video photography, and so I decided that I'd give it a go at aerial photography. So I sold all my camera gear, my DSLR, about $2,000-3,000 worth of stuff, and I started building multi-rotors and flying GoPros and stuff. So I got involved in this to shoot video, so that's kind of what I'm interested in doing.
All right, so where can we check out your videos?
I put a lot of my stuff up on Vimeo, so just go to Mauronic, MAURONIC.
Hello, I am Matthew Mackler, and we are at the North San Diego FPV meet, and we are here with...
My name's Kyle Verenfass, aka SD Surf and Glide on RC Groups.
It is our first fixed wing that we're going to talk about, and let us know what this is and what your setup is.
All right, so this is the Flight Test Versa Wing with the blunt nose kit. Normally, they come with just these 2 wing sections, so it's a lot smaller, but to get this blunt nose kit to put in the center gives you a lot more room to, put more batteries. It gives you a couple little extra sections here. Currently, I'm running the Mobius with 5.8, and I'm running a 3S 3300 milliamp, and I'm getting about 30 minutes off of this guy.
Wow, that's pretty fun.
Yeah, super fun. It's you can go fast, do nice fun rolls and flips, or you can just get it up high and glide it around.
Definitely. You ever race friends in them?
We haven't done any races yet, but we've done some formation flying, and that's pretty fun when you get all those wings up at the same time.
There you go, yeah. So the very first time that you put on those goggles and you decided to fly FPV, what was that like for you?
It's awesome. It's just like, you're right there in the cockpit rather than, I gotta strain my neck and I gotta look up there and I'm just watching it go back and forth. Now I can see, basically bird's eye view of everything. And it's just a whole different feeling just being up there, floating in the air. And, when you do those flips and rolls and dives, it's just another feeling.
Hello, I am Matthew Mackler, and we are here at North San Diego FPV meet, and I am here with...
Lucon.
Lucan. And we are going to talk about what his usual setup and getup is for coming out to an FPV meet. So what's usually on the list of things you bring with you?
I bring my ground station with all my different antennas, right and left hand polarized. I'm running 5.8 and always wear my goggles. So that like the immersed feel of flying. I fly fixed wing, I don't do any of this multi-rotor stuff. Yeah, you gotta have a chair for sitting down. You always wind up in the fetal position when you're flying. So you gotta have a chair, you gotta have your coffee, gotta have the go juice. Sunscreen, definitely. The back of your neck's gonna get burnt because your head is gonna fall into your gut.
So what's your stance on line of sight and FPV racing?
Well, you spell losers with LOS, so. My eyes are pretty jacked up from the Marine Corps, had chemical burns, so for me, doing FPV is about the only way that I can really fly and not put the planes in the deck anymore. So line of sight, I wind up losing orientation. You get to certain angles, even a white plane will turn black and you can't tell where the wings are. So at least FPV, I know exactly where up is and down is and exactly what my plane's doing. So to me, it's the safest way to do it.
We have Pete flying out. He's about, I'd say, a mile out, and he's having some video issues, so we're scrambling to get another ground station that's more directional and higher gain so we can get a video of him, a video on for him. Yeah. That's it. That's the only thing we can do.
Hello, I'm Matthew Mackler. We are in beautiful North San Diego, and we are at the North San Diego FPV meet. I am here with...
I'm Johnny.
I'm Josh.
And they're with Teamlegit. So where did Teamlegit come from?
Well, Teamlegit, we had a group of guys, we got together. The actual name Legit, the Teamlegit, the name came about. A buddy of mine sent me a motivational poster, and it was like a really creepy van, and on the side of the van it said Hannah Montana concert shuttle, and then underneath the motivational little speech was, it seems legit. So we were busting up laughing so long with that, and we're like, hey, you know what, let's do this legit. And part of our team is making sure we do things legit. We want to make sure we get clearance, we want to make sure we get permission, we want to do things the right way, and we want to keep everything as legit as possible.
So what are you guys flying today? Walk us through some of the gear you've brought out here.
Today we're flying out our Legit wings. Josh, you want to take over and let them know what the Legit wing's all about?
Yeah, this is our one of our first products. This is a Legit wing. This is a how wide are they?
I think it's a 32 inch.
32 inch core. They're we started out flying stuff like the pop wings and stuff like that, and they just didn't. They fly great until you get off the power and they just drop like a rock. So these guys have a lot thicker airfoil, a lot bigger, you know, just the problems that we saw with other planes we decided to fix. So these planes, they're super simple, just chuck it in the back of your car, fly it after work, and they're just tough. You can fix them with hoggle. I mean, you can see mine's just tattered. This plane is, yeah, this plane's taking a serious beating. I've got a lot of flights into it.
We put a lot of thought into this airfoil. We wanted to find something that could bridge the gap between large airplanes and small airplanes, and something that flies easy. I've tried all the larger, wings and things like that, and it's just so cumbersome. And being from Southern California, we don't have very many places to fly. So to get out there, you got to take a car, you got to drive quite a ways. So we have the big truck. It's just such a big gas guzzler. So we wanted something compact that we could just throw in the back of the car and go with that.
Nice, definitely. And what other fun gadgets have you got here besides the fixed wings?
Well, we have the Legit crawler, because that's how we roll. We roll with a 6x6. We also have an 8x8. We did an FPV video on the beach with one of these, and it was pretty interesting just driving around and seeing people's reactions FPVing with this. So we brought this out today just to haul our gear around and just kind of mess around with it. This is something new we just started carrying. This is a clone out frame. We've been enjoying these little frames. They're just a little carbon fiber quadcopter clone frames. They're actually a clone of the QAV 250, but they're a lot of fun, and we've been flying these and enjoying bashing these and things like that. So these are available on our store. Also, we've been running GoPros in a lot of our wings, and we're really tired of damaging $400 every time we have a little nick and scratch. So we've converted everything on our entire team over to Mobius cameras. We're going to be running the Mobius strictly just because of the cost and the performance ratio.
We even shoot some of our interview videos with the Mobius. They're just great cameras. They're really solid.
So this is something new we just started doing. This is a prototype. This is the Legit Wing Ultra. It's basically a scaled up version of our smaller Legit Wing. It's 49.5 inches, but I think the final production is going to end up being 48. I got mine set up with all my little bays and everything cut out in here. I've got a 5,000 milliamp 4S in here. I've actually got a Storm OSD tucked in here as well. We have ESC and current sensor tucked away back here with our T motor. We're running a 710 kV because we don't need that much speed. This thing just takes off really nice and smooth, and I mean, it just floats. So once we launch it, you don't need that power to keep it in there. So we got a nice efficient setup.
What are some of the challenges that Teamlegit and some of your friends have faced when trying to fly together with all of your buddies?
Well, one of the biggest things is frequencies. Frequencies are getting more and more crowded as the hobby starts progressing and getting a lot better. There's a lot more people getting into it, so we're having difficulty trying to find different frequencies that we want to fly. We try to diversify as much as possible with the 5.8, with the 2.4, and the 1.3. But as you know, when you come to these meets, we got to make sure that we're organized, and we got to make sure that everybody has an awareness of safety of frequencies, because it's like the old 72 megahertz days when you had to pick a crystal or pull a card or have your tag showing which frequency you're flying on. Because if you plug into somebody's frequency, back then it would cause a plane to crash. Again, now with 2.4. changing that and allowing more and more people to fly on the same channels, we're now back to the 72 days with the video frequencies, because we need that two-way control. So somebody plugs in, your video's done, and you're going down. One thing we did here, this is the third annual North San Diego County FPV meet, put on by Andy. I think you guys may have seen his clip earlier or whatnot, but we try to keep everything as organized. We stress safety, safety, safety. There's Andy now. We try to stress communication with the other pilots. People are calling out their frequencies. Hey, I'm plugging in 433. I'm plugging in 5.8. I'm plugging in this. And if more than one person decides they want to fly together, we're doing the communication with them. Let's all get our stuff powered on. Let's make sure everybody's running. We're not having any interference. This is the second year I think we're doing the pilot. Third year we're doing the pilot check-in. So if you want to fly with us at any of our meets, you've got to register your frequencies online. You've got to register with Andy and his site, and come in and tell each person, you got different color badges for what frequencies you're flying. If you plan to fly, you walk up to the flight line, you call out your frequencies, you make sure everybody's aware of what's going on. You're not just plugging things in.
And you get one of those beautiful stickers on your back which tells the frequency.
Why's mine say kick me?
So there's been a lot of talk about FPV. It's a relatively new hobby and sport. And where do you envision the future of FPV going? Where would you like to see it?
Well, I've been doing FPV for about 4 years, and it started out, as a gradual hobby. I've noticed its exponential progression in the last 6 to 7 months. It's getting a lot more notice in the media. Anybody can now go pick up, a Phantom or any other quad or something like that, and they're automatically into FPV. Where I see it going, I would like to see it not regulated as much as the plans are to be regulated, but I just want more awareness of what the potentials are with FPV, whether it be in as tactical, with either being law enforcement as an aid, or you got those farmers, they want to survey their crops. I want it to be kind of like the cell phone. I want it to be revolutionary. I want people, to be able to use FPV and harness the power of it and use it to its max potential. I want it to be a safe and good part of life. I don't want people to, being fearful of drones and privacy and things like that. Most of the time, when people are doing FPV, they don't care about, what somebody's doing in their backyard and things like that. But then again, it goes back down to, you give anybody a tool, it's just how they use it. So I want, the positive use, and I want the positive aspects of FPV to shine.
Where can we find some of these great Teamlegit products that you've just told us about?
Well, we launched our site about, 3 months ago now?
About 3-4 months ago?
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been really successful. It's team-legit.com. And you can find all of our stuff on there, the Legit Wings, the mini quads, parts, Mobiuses, whatever you need.
Well, most of the website, and the reason why we started the website is because we found ourselves buying so much stuff for the team and for all of the members and local people. So the manufacturers started saying, well, if you buy a little bit more, if you buy some more bulk, then you guys can get a little discount. So we decided we'll get that and try to pass those discounts on to our followers and things like that. But the website is not in competition with any of the other FPV sites. Ready Made RC is a great site. If you're looking for equipment, I recommend them as much as possible. But our site is more driven towards the niche products, the things that we personally use, the stuff that's a little bit harder to get, and that's pretty much what we focus on on the website. And everything on the website is stuff that we actually use and have tested.
Right. And a lot of the problem with this too is, I mean, if anybody knows, if you order anything from China, it takes like 2-3 weeks to get here. So we try our best to keep our stuff in stock. So when you crash, you can be like, hey, Johnny, I need a part today. Okay, come and pick it up.
Yep,
I mean, it's
absolutely.
quick to get parts.
For the local guys, the local guys know me. They're always at my house, you know, picking up things like that. And the nationwide guys or the international guys, you know, they log on. I strive to get things out as fast as possible because I know what it's like. You break a prop and you're down because of one little part. I want to get those things out to you guys as fast as possible.
Right.
So here at Aerial Grand Prix, we love FPV, and we also love FPV clothing. And it just so happens that you are wearing an FPV shirt. Tell us more about this.
Well, this shirt was purchased from csfpv.com. Patrick over at CSFPV, great guy, really creative, makes all kinds of really cool FPV related apparel. If you haven't had a chance to check him out, make sure you check out CSFPV, or his actual site name is chickensashimi.com, which we thought that was hilarious. But Chicken Sashimi, he's got all kinds of really cool apparel. The most recent one I just saw, which I plan to order tonight, is the dollar bill, and it has the goggles on the president, and it says, "In goggles we trust." And I thought that was really cool. So if you haven't checked them out, check out CSFPV, get some really cool apparel.
All right, thank you guys.
Our pleasure.
Station coming.
We're almost there, Pete. Hang in there.
Just keep it right there. We're okay.